Hello everyone, Stu Barnes here, Stu Barnes Real Estate, and I am posting this video which will be accompanied by a blog post which will explain a little bit more, but this is just a reminder when buying property in North Carolina that a typical transaction, once you're under contract, you have a due diligence period to do your inspection, which likely will cause some repairs to be made. The big question is if a seller is going to do the repairs, and it's all negotiable. During COVID, when there was very, very, very little inventory, there's not much now, but it's getting better. When there's not much inventory at all, sellers were not really doing repairs and they didn't have to. It almost didn't matter what it was because they really just didn't have to make any repairs because housing was in such short supply, low supply of inventory that sellers knew. They didn't really have to because people needed to buy a home. Well, getting a little bit back to normal now, but in a typical transaction, you have a due diligence period where you will have your home inspection. Depending on what the home inspector finds, when the buyer goes over the inspection report with the realtor, you kind of come up with a list of what you would like to be repaired. And most of the time, you're not going to ask for silly things, but the big things, foundation, HVAC, electrical, major plumbing issues. Those things do need to be addressed. But the point of this video is a lot of sellers, if you look at the offer to purchase, and your real estate agent can help you with this, paragraph 4D is about the buyer's due diligence process. And it says in very bold letters, the property is being sold in its current condition. So a lot of sellers like to see that verbiage and say the house is sold as is, we're not doing anything. Right before that it says unless the parties agree otherwise, which means repairs are negotiable, but it also says in the next sentence that the seller is not under any obligation to make repairs, to negotiate repairs. So in a perfect situation, the seller wants to sell, the buyer wants to buy, and they will make certain repairs. So it's up to you to talk to your real estate agent about what repairs are very important to you. I know in some states they just ask for a certain credit amount for the repairs, which we see that a lot here too. There's pros and cons to that. I can elaborate on that in a later post. But when you're buying a home, when you have your home inspection, you're going to find things that are going on with the house. 9 times out of 10, the report looks the verbiage, the wording on the inspection report looks a little more detrimental than it actually is. But it's up to you to discuss these with your agent to just figure out which items you want to ask for. So check out when you're writing an offer, make sure you read all 15 pages of it. I think there's 16 pages now. It keeps going up every year to make sure you understand everything. But the big thing is sellers tend to want to sell it as is. Buyers want to ask for everything. There's got to be a happy medium, but just make sure you know that the repairs are negotiable, but the seller is not required to do anything. All right, take care.